Good morning, people. You know what day it is today? It's new bike day. Oh yeah. Got my new bike built. We're gonna be riding it today. Excited. Ooh. Let's see how it rides. First impressions. Well, today I don't have time for the hills, and this is a climbing bike, so I didn't get to test it out. I did test it out very briefly up one of those car ramps to the next level, and man, was it easy to climb up that. I got smaller gears, smaller climbing gears in my previous bike, and it was just so easy to keep my cadence up. Everything feels really good at the moment. Got to do more testing, but oh man, I'm loving it. Loving the ride. It's also a bit hard to test when my legs are tired. I can't go all out, but you know what? Oh, I'm so happy right now. So for those who don't know, this is the Winspace SLC Hyper 3 wheels. Winspace D45. A little bit deeper in the rear. I think it was 45 in the front, 52 in the back. And Ultegra Di2. I was thinking, is it worth getting Dura Ace for the 300 grams weight saving? The weight. With bottle cages and pedals, 7.4 kilos. So, pretty good. Morning. Mind if I hop on your wheel for a bit?
Sorry?
Mind if I hop on your wheel for a bit? Yeah.
Maybe you are stronger.
Yeah, I know. Sorry?
What's your name?
Chris. What's your name?
June.
June. Nice to meet you. So this is typical me, always trying to find people to follow, because when I'm riding by myself I always just relax and take it easy. So if I follow someone's wheel, I've always got to put in the effort just to hold their wheel. So I met Jun blazing past me, so I thought, well, let's hop on his wheel, and funnily enough, soon you'll see that he says, oh, he saw my one of my videos and watched it the other day, and he's actually subscribed. So what are the odds? Adelaide's such a small community. Yeah, that was a nice surprise. We've got Jun here, another subscriber. He watched the video and said, hey, you're the vlogger? I watched your videos. Another one. Why, hello. First time I'm making a video like this. Let's see how it goes. I don't know why, but it feels a little bit weird talking into a camera here, even though, you know, I keep talking to the camera outside, but let's see how we go. So, 4 main things. 4 main good things that I want to talk about with the new bike. The first one is how light it is. It is 7.4 kilos with the pedals and bike bottle cages. So that is very light compared to what I had previously. I think it was 8.5 or 9 kilos. So just, I mean, you know, now that I said it out loud, it doesn't sound like that much, but it feels a lot more responsive accelerating. So it's a lot easier to accelerate once. Why is that important? Well, you know, for me, it's you know, when you go on those casual rides with people and they're a lot stronger than you. Normally you're riding at the back of the pack because you're just, you know, they're stronger than you. So if you've got about 5 people in a single file and you're chasing the back, when you hit the red lights or roundabouts and people start slowing down, or red lights are the worst. When you hit a red light, you know the front starts going and then the second goes, the third goes. By the time you start going, they've already made a little bit of a gap. And then for you to make up that, you gotta accelerate faster just to get up the wheel. And because you're already the weakest, you already have to put in the power just to catch up to them. And then when they hit the red light again, it's like, you gotta accelerate all over again. Whereas they, you know, they gotta accelerate, but you know, they don't have to put in as much power as you, being at the back to catch up. So definitely a good thing to have is being a bike that's responsive and accelerates fast, because as I was following Jun, I mean, I'm only the second bike in, but keeping up at the start with the accelerating to keep his wheel was a lot easier, I have to say. So that is one of the good things. Second thing was the aero position it puts you in. So I came from an endurance bike. I guess you can set it up differently to be more aero, but going for this bike automatically puts me into a more aero position. So going 36k an hour, even though I was holding his wheel, usually if I'm holding someone else's wheel at 36 k's an hour, I'm still doing probably, I would estimate, around 170 watts. I think from experience, yeah, around 170 watts for me anyway. And I feel like following Jun's, maybe he was, yeah, following Jun's wheel, I only had to do around 150 watts. So, I mean, that might sound like I'm exaggerating, but it honestly felt that much easier. And there wasn't a windy day or anything. Wind was behind me because, you know, we went a whole loop, so it was pretty consistent. But I feel like that area, other things kept into play as well, and I'll talk about that. Now the other one, this one also I guess plays into it, is the crank length. I did go from 170 to 50 to 165, which helped keep my cadence up a lot easier, because you're not having to, you know, this is your thigh going up and down. It doesn't have to go up so much, and it's just easier to keep that cadence high. So I think holding the power is also easier because of the high cadence, the ease of the high cadence. So it just felt easier to go. So I think the crank length definitely did help. And the group set. So I went to a 12 speed from 11 speed. Didn't think it would make much of a difference, but my golly, it does. Just the smaller increments means that you don't have to put out so much power just to keep up the next. Sometimes you're stuck between, you know, 30 kilometers an hour and 33 kilometers an hour, and you want to just get to that 33, but then you feel like your legs, you gotta put in that extra power. But with the 12 speed, you don't have to put as much power to get to the next one, if that makes sense. So obviously these ones are more for the casual rider who cares about these small little things. I think the strong riders, I think that they probably don't notice, but when you're, you know, casual social rider and you want to get better, these things are important. So yeah, now the two cons I would say, which aren't really cons of the bike, is the first one is it was more responsive. So I mean that's probably a positive, but because it's more responsive, it's a lot more twitchy. So it's just something that you have to get used to. And the other one that you don't think about is how much more careful you have to be with the new bike. I mean, leaning it on things, I'm like leaning it a lot slower, being a lot more careful with it. It's honestly a lot more time consuming because you gotta be careful with it and you care about it so much more. So new bike. And then I didn't think about this, but you know, my last bike I didn't have insurance for it because it was a second-hand one. But this one I got insurance for it from VeloSure. I think it works out to be around $45 a month. So you've got the insurance as well to pay for. I mean, you don't have to, but peace of mind. I think if you spend that much money on a new bike, I would get insurance for it. Accidents happen so easily. So yeah, that's from the first ride. Now I haven't ridden the hills yet, so watch out for that one because this is a climbing bike. But for now, that's my review on the Winspace SLC 3.0 on the flats. And I'll leave it. I'll see you next time. Oh, there's a map ride. I think they're starting now. We can join them.
You want to go?
Alright, thoughts on the bike after 40 Ks. I don't know if it's a saddle or it's a bike or a bit of everything, but I swear it's even more comfy than my endurance Defy. I don't know, it must be the saddle, I don't know. Or my ass is just getting used to being in the saddle. But I mean, 6 hours on Thursday, well, yeah, 7 hours on Thursday, 2 hours yesterday, which is Saturday, and then another 1.5 hours today. Today's ride, it was easy. Maybe I wasn't thinking about it, I don't know, but loving it, loving it. Love cycling even more now. Oh, I know that they say, you know, don't get a new bike because you're not going to get any faster or anything, but it's not about that, you know. It's getting something that you enjoy getting on, like, you know, I really enjoyed today. Anyway, we will see you next time. What are the plans? Not sure yet, but yeah, see you next time. One other thing I do want to say is don't leave a like and don't subscribe unless you think I deserve it. So we'll try something new. Yeah, don't like and don't subscribe unless you think I deserve it. So let's see how that goes. See ya.